Hey everybody, welcome back to Grogu Gaga. I'm here with my co-hosts Chip and Cam, and today we're going to be talking about our favorite movies, favorite Star Wars movies, and we used a list generator that helped to rank them, and so we're going to see how every movie stacks up with each other. We're going to start from our least favorite to our favorite, and of course, any Star Wars list is controversial because there's something in there that upset somebody else, because there's 11 movies now, and it'd be fun to do it with the TV show and Clone Wars and Mandalorian too. But we're just doing the 9 Skywalker movies and the 2 spinoffs today. So without further ado, we're gonna go ahead and start upsetting some people. Okay, and the first one I'll start, which is number 11 on my list, which is already gonna upset Chip because he saw this, but. And this has changed in the past year, so it could change again, Chip. I'm still holding out hope. But
you're fine if you don't like quality cinema. I can't help you.
The last one is Rogue One, which for me is okay. First of all, I'll preface this by saying I think we all enjoy every movie out there. There's nothing like I'll put on a Star Wars anytime and enjoy it. What is lowest on my list is still better than most movies. So Rogue One, I will still enjoy watching it, any time of the day. For me, it's just a little. I miss the Force aspects, which are my favorite thing from the Skywalker saga, and just my favorite aspect of Star Wars in general. And there wasn't a lot of that, but we did get it with Chirrut, and then of course Vader at the end. But I almost feel like the movie, in my personal opinion, if they hadn't had Vader at the end, would have been a lot more forgettable, just in the minds of like the average moviegoer, because it's such a big way to end the movie. Like I can't see it ending any other way. But that's me. I don't. It's just a little slow for me, but I like it. Chip, tell me why it's your favorite. Oh, we haven't even gotten there yet. Let's go to your least favorite. We'll come back to your favorite. Okay. Let's not talk about why we don't like it. Yeah.
My least favorite is probably the least controversial one you'll hear tonight. Last Jedi.
Which was my last recently.
It's fine. Like Charles said, it's a Star Wars, so I'm going to enjoy it no matter what. Even the Canto Bite scene, which is like one of my least favorite scenes in the entire series. At least it's visually appealing.
It's visually
there's good stuff. A little bit of funny with all the little aliens in there. But speaking of aliens, another reason I don't like the sequel trilogy in general, and especially Last Jedi, is there's no aliens. There's no already known aliens. I think they really left them in the dust a little bit. That's just a little anecdote. But Last Jedi
I always thought it was weird too that they didn't have any familiar aliens.
Yeah,
it just seems like an odd choice for all 3 movies. I think. Did we finally? I don't even know if we got anything in Rise of Skywalker either.
I don't think we did.
I don't think we did. Maybe we did. I'd have to go back and look. But Cam, what's your number 11?
My number 11 is Attack of the Clones.
Okay, that's not too controversial.
Yeah.
But that was somebody's favorite on. I posted this on my Facebook, and that was somebody's favorite. Which, hey, I think it's cool. I mean, hey,
to each their own.
There's no judgment for me. I prefer that to somebody having the standard Empire Strikes Back list that's like predictable. And
somebody on your Facebook also hates sand. Apparently,
it's coarse and rough and irritating. Actually, I found this new a channel that did a re-edit of Attack of the Clones. Basically,
it was all Detective Obi-Wan.
Yeah, that was it. That was the whole movie.
Sure,
but no, it's basically like completely reworked Anakin and Padme's dialogue, and also included a deleted scene of them at Padme's family's house, which really adds a lot. And actually, I mean, I haven't watched the whole thing, but I've watched clips of it, and I think I'll have to give my review on that. But I think it should be pretty fun, and I think I've always thought the whole aspect, like the worst part was the romance. I think it had a lot of good in it, and also visually, I think it was a little probably the worst. To me.
It was lacking.
Because
CGI on that scale is still in its infancy.
It was the first movie to be shot on digital too. So, and then like having the clones be all CGI was just a strange choice. But somebody had to do it, I guess, at some point. But I think they should have waited till it was a little bit better.
What did Ahmed Best say about Jar Jar had to crawl so Gollum could walk?
Oh yeah, something like that. Yeah. Andy Serkis gets all these awards and
But
stuff.
Gollum wouldn't be here if it wasn't for Jar Jar,
Yeah.
you know. And so like that CGI, I'm just talking about CGI in general in the prequels. It was groundbreaking for the time. Yeah, it doesn't hold up.
I think
as well.
Phantom Menace looks better than Attack of the Clones to me.
Less CGI. They actually had real.
It looks the most like the original trilogy of the prequels.
It does.
Anything you want to say about it?
Just that, like, while I was going through the quiz, I was kind of having a hard time just because I kept going back and forth of like, is this like if I watch them all right now or like when I watched them for the first time? Because the prequels especially have a lot of nostalgia because they came out when I was a kid.
Yeah.
I ended up going more with if I watched it right now.
Yeah, which is what I did because mine has changed since last year, and it'll probably change again next year. I think some of the ones I really liked will probably move down. But yeah, so we'll go on to number 10, which for me is Solo, which nothing. I don't have anything really bad to say about it, but I don't really have anything amazing to say about it. You know, it's just a fun movie. I like all the references and little references to planets and stuff, and that was kind of missing from the sequels. Mentioned Felucia and Aura Singh. I love all the references, and I think it's a fun movie. And I just watched that with my girlfriend for the first. Or I've seen it, but she saw it for the first time, and she liked it too. But yeah, it's just nothing. I just think it's good. It's fun, but I just don't really have any strong feelings. I enjoy it, but I don't have any strong feelings one way or the other.
That was one of the ones I saw with you on the midnight premiere. Remember?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, it was fun.
That was fun.
Yeah.
I like Solo. I really like Solo. It's just fun. It's like a heist movie. It's so cool. It's like Ocean's 11 space cowboy in Star Wars.
Yeah,
and I love that. And you know, how do you say it? Alden Ehrenreich? That's how you say his name. He did it. He didn't convince me that he was trying to be Harrison Ford, but he took on the mantle of Han Solo,
which is more important.
What I wanted. I didn't want him to do a whole finger pointing deal and all that, like too much and overplay that. But he did such a good job, and I like all the. Some people say they unnecessarily try to fit in some origins to every single bit of Han Solo, like his blaster and him and Chewie and all that. But I liked it. I think it was.
Yeah, I didn't really care about his name origin personally. I thought they could have left that out, but it's fine.
Yeah, that was a little.
I mean, there's a lot of things that are ham-fisted in Star Wars, so it's whatever. What's your number 10?
The Phantom Menace.
Oh, it's cutting the prequel lovers deep over here. Right?
Yeah. Sorry, the prequel lovers.
Well, I think on these low tier ones, we'll kind of just move on until we get to the higher ones, so we can discuss what we like about it, and less about what we don't like. And number 9 for me is.
Did you want my number 10?
Oh, I thought you did it.
Rise of Skywalker.
Oh, we didn't even. I skipped over you.
Yeah, man.
Oh, because I said Solo.
Yeah,
that's right.
Yeah, exactly.
I got distracted.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Oh, you're fine, dude. Don't worry.
Rise of Skywalker.
Also not very controversial. It was fun. I saw it like 2 or 3 times in theaters. It was fun. I've seen it once since, I think. And it was good. It was fine.
Yeah, it
was fine. Pacing was awful.
Yeah, I like the movie.
A lot of
very poorly paced.
One thing that me and Sean don't agree with is the Ben Solo characterization, kind of his goofy moments. But does. But Sean does point out in a convincing way that it is kind of being like him being his dad, kind of. So
yeah.
I can kind of buy that. It's jarring coming from Kylo chopping off some dude's head at the beginning of the movie to him going, ow.
Yeah, I still think it's less jarring than Anakin, honestly.
That's true. If you haven't seen the Clone Wars.
I was going to say if you haven't seen Clone Wars but.
What have I done?
Sorry to leave. Yes, the Matt Lanner version. Sorry to leave you out on that one. I guess I didn't want to hear that one because I like that movie. That's what it was subconsciously. Sorry. So number 9 for me is Last Jedi, which used to just only like hate on it, but like I've matured a lot in 4 years, or I guess 3.5 years, maybe. But no, I just try to focus on what I do like, and the stuff that I do like, I actually really do like a lot. I think I still disagree with a lot of the decisions, but some of the things that bothered people before never bothered me. Like it never bothered me that Luke had a moment of weakness when he was, pulling out the lightsaber and watching Ben sleep or whatever. That never really bothered me because it was like even articulated that was like. Just a moment of weakness, and like I don't know, that just never bothered me. It seems like normal, and he actually moved on faster in that than he did in like Return of the Jedi, where he just went full out and went rage mode on Vader. So I don't know, that just never bothered me. But there's a lot of things I don't like. I think I still don't like the whole Canto Bite sequence. I'm with you on that.
Right.
And I don't like.
I haven't quite warmed to the titty milk yet.
Yeah, and that. I mean, and some decisions like cutting Luke Morning Han and replacing it with that. It's just like.
So that would be worth off like just a minute discussion. That was insane that they cut that.
It was like 17 seconds of Luke Morning Han, which I've seen some fan edits and they put that back in there rightfully.
It just makes more sense for Luke because your longtime buddy.
Yeah, it's like because in the movie he just moves on. It's like I don't know why.
Strange choices, Disney.
I don't know whose decision that was to cut that out, but I do think Disney has some kind of overstepping their bounds. I feel like there's some weird decisions, especially with Rise of Skywalker. I think that was a lot. I just personally, I don't have any evidence, but I really do think there was some studio oversight. You can tell from the editing. It's just
the very beginning is where it's the most jarring. I think.
Oh yeah,
keeping out that whole Mustafar scene was a mistake.
Yeah,
meeting Palpatine in 4 minutes.
Yes,
4 minutes in the movie. It's like okay, all right.
And where did we find out the Palpatine returned? What medium was that?
Fortnite. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So Disney.
I actually have my own edit of that movie that I made, and I put that in there. So y'all have to watch that sometime. If you can find a way to watch it, that's all I'll say. But yeah, I don't know. I don't really have much to say. We've talked about Last Jedi a lot. So, what's your number 9?
My number 9 was Attack of the Clones.
Okay.
Coming in the same reason everybody's saying. It doesn't look great. I don't like the romance scenes.
Mm-hmm.
I hate sand. No, but really, it's fun, and I like Sherlock Obi-Wan. That's my favorite. Like Obi-Wan Holmes is my favorite part of that because it's kind of cool, and Ewan McGregor plays it off so cool, and his charm and charisma kind of makes that movie bearable for me.
Yeah, he's great.
Also, Django is
and Count Dooku.
And Count Dooku. Okay, some of the best villains are in episode 2, actually. Now that I think about it, because Jango Fett is one of my absolute favorites. Always has been since I started playing Bounty Hunter like in 2002. It's my favorite Star Wars video game. And then, of course, Count Dooku is probably my favorite villain.
Especially in the movies where he's not so menacing, like just
talking about like in the Clone Wars where he has yellow eyes for some reason.
Yeah. I don't really buy that, but
because he had a noble cause. I think Clone Wars kind of like undermines
Qui-Gon's
that.
noble, and that's the soundtrack.
That is, isn't it? Right?
What a spoiler! That's what happened in the Phantom Menace. That soundtrack was released before the movie, and it's like, oh wow, that's a spoiler. So what's your number? What are we on, 9 or 8? 9. What's your number 9?
My number 9 is Solo.
Okay, that's same reasons, I guess.
Yeah, and like you said, I do love Solo and all the prequels, but
yeah, I mean, really, this list is, and I wanted to say earlier, but really, to me, this list is just if we were watching the movies right now, what would we choose to watch, and what would we enjoy more? Not necessarily like which one is better filmmaking necessarily. If that's why you hate something, then that's fine too. But
I would consider very few of these fine filmmaking. Star Wars. It's not, you don't watch Star Wars for the craft.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I mean, but some of them, I will say, some of them are not as well put together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, so here's number 8 for me is kind of controversial. Probably my first real controversial one is A New Hope.
Mm-hmm.
Just I don't know. It's solid. It's a classic. It started everything. But it's just, I don't know. I don't have much to say about it. It's kind of like Solo in that it's a fun movie. And it starts, it introduces everything. I mean, it's hard to like say anything bad about it, but it's just, I think of the originals, it just doesn't hold up, especially like Empire does.
It was because it was written as a standalone, pretty much. Like,
yeah, exactly.
They didn't know if they were going to do any more. So George Lucas kind of wrote it like a closed circuit kind of movie where you could end it, and then he had a backup plan. What was it? If you couldn't get Harrison Ford, was that one called the Mind's Eye?
Splinter of the Mind's Eye.
Splinter of the Mind's Eye was based on a potential sequel if Star Wars didn't do well and they couldn't get Harrison Ford back. Splinter of the Mind's Eye, which became a book, and it's actually decent. It's weird, but it's good.
Yeah, I forgot about that. I've not actually read it, but I just recently read the details about it, so it's very interesting.
But yeah, that's basically I kind of New Hope. That's kind of how I feel about it. It's just it's a closed deal. If you could watch that and that's all that came out, you'd still find an enjoyable experience out of it. We're kind of biased because we have so much lore now. We know all the background. We know everything that's going on because Star Wars fans have to delve deep, go to Wikipedia and all that. But
without the prequels and it would probably be lower.
Right.
But I think the prequels kind of help it to. But I guess I actually have that lower than all the prequels, so never mind. But it's just solid. So that was 8. What's your
Force Awakens, number 8. So Last Jedi, Rise of Skywalker, Attack of the Clones, and then Force Awakens. I like Force Awakens. I do, because I like A New Hope enough. And if you like A New Hope, you're gonna like Force Awakens more than likely.
Force Awakens took A New Hope, but like just made it. I don't know. It's just like so much more. I don't know. Solid. Like acting's better. I don't know, but I'll get to that when I get to Force Awakens on my list. But
yeah, so Force Awakens, I like it. It's good. Third Death Star is a charm. But it's cool, and also the fact that some other stuff has added stuff into the Force, like Starkiller Base being Ilum, stuff like that also influences me. Like I get that, so like there's that rubbing off me. So I like the Force. I really do like the Force Awakens. Though it really is a good movie. I remember seeing it in 2015 when it came out.
I loved it when it came out.
I saw it like 4 times. I was so excited because it was the first Star Wars we had gotten in a decade. I was like, yeah, man, this is great. I love Kylo. That's the first thing I said. I was like, man.
Yeah, he's great.
Man, that's a good character. That's a good bad guy. I'm excited.
I could talk about him all day. Adam Driver, but I think that one was it was just it's just a solid movie, and I think I do in hindsight now I do blame some of the decisions for the direction of the sequels. Some of it, I think having the First Order was not very creative, and of course, like all the mystery box stuff that JJ is known for.
And I think that's why I think you were right about the more clear road to the directorial thing, because one director for all 3 would have JJ like spread these what do you call them, like little feed around, the little hints around with the breadcrumbs with the mystery box, and I think he would have paid off on it. It just happened to be the next director, took a totally different direction with it. And then that made the Rise of Skywalker. That's why it's one of the last ones for me, because it made it so unsatisfying for me, is because there was nothing, they didn't delve into the things that I expect them to. Once again, that's just expectations on my part. But
it's hard to not have those though. What's yours? Number 8, right?
Yep. Well, first of all, I think it's going to be super interesting how different each of our lists are. So that's cool. My number 8 is The Last Jedi.
Okay. Fair. I think that's fair ranking. What do you like about it? Let's say what you like about it, since we've been known to hate on it. But obviously, I don't know. I also wanted to say, like, when I watched it with my girlfriend for the first time, she didn't see it with any bias or like years and years of waiting to see Luke. She just watched the movie and she liked it. So
yeah, what I do like about it is that Mark Hamill is there and super involved.
Whether or not you like his depiction, he's like, that's his best role, like his best acting. I would say
he gave it his all in that, and you can't blame him for that. It's not his fault. He didn't write the script.
Yeah. So and he even said, like, if you love the movie, it's because of Ryan. If you hate it, it's because of Ryan. And so, but yeah, his performance as Luke was great, and I've come around on some of the aspects of Luke as well.
I mean, shoot, his whole Samurai Kurosawa scene at the end too. You can't.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
Like that whole last. You can tell how influenced that was by samurai movies and westerns, where you had the one sheriff facing off against a bunch of bandits. It was cool to me because I love westerns and samurai movies. So just that kind of homage was really cool.
I love it now. When I first saw it, I was disappointed because it was no real action, which I really wanted to see. But we got in The Mandalorian now, so I think the thing about Star Wars, when you put things in hindsight and in context, it makes things better. So now that I've seen that, I'm a little more forgiving of not seeing that in the movie, and so I can be like, okay, I can appreciate it, and I get the logic. I get both sides of it. People saying like, Jedi do fight, but they also don't. Like it's in defense. So I think either way would have been justified if he fought, because he wouldn't have been the one attacking. But yeah.
I also do love some of like Rey's exploration into the Force and them kind of building her relationship with Kylo Ren.
It's probably Kylo's best movie, I would say.
Yeah.
Yeah. So number 7 for me is Attack of the Clones. That took a while for me to get there. 7. The good stuff about it is really good, like Detective Obi-Wan and the villains. And I love the soundtrack. It's so
The banking plan.
the banking clan will sign your treaty.
Rosh Clovis.
I think the soundtrack is kind of underrated as well. Like it's got a very dark, somber tone to it, and it's very mysterious because it is kind of a mystery.
Mm-hmm.
It's the most like other than like the mystery box stuff. I would say it's the most like just like a mystery. I mean, compared to like any other one, that's the most like. I think some things could have been done better, like maybe not like the Sifo-Dyas thing.
I was going to say that they dropped so many names. I was going to say Sifo who? Like what?
Yeah.
Who is that? Come on now.
Like they could have. And somebody in the criticism was talking about like how he's like, yeah, this is like a simple movie plot, but like when you're watching it, you feel kind of dumb,
Right?
Because like you're like, did I miss something? Is there something? So
like, no, you're not dumb. That came out of nowhere. So.
Yeah, Clone Wars helped with that as well.
Did. We actually put a face to Sifo-Dyas too, which is cool.
Yeah. So I don't like the way it looks visually. I think it's my least favorite.
There's
visually.
one scene in particular that I know people point out. It's when they're in the temple and they're like walking and like the temple looks like it's made out of Play-Doh.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not great.
Oh.
What's your 7?
7. A New Hope. 7 for me. We already talked about it.
Attack of the Clones and New Hope right next to each other.
Yeah, right. Exactly. I'm not going to talk about it too much because we already said everything because it's a classic movie. It started everything. It's good. I love the trench run. I love everything. I love Obi-Wan in that. There's really nothing else to say. I love Han Solo's charisma.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, Princess Leia. Princess Leia. They're all good, man. It's all so good because it is the original. It is the Star Wars. But,
it is the Star Wars.
It is the Star Wars. But
it was going to be called the Star Wars at one point.
And it was called the Book of the Wills.
Oh, and that. Yeah, it had a.
Was it the Book of the Wills? What was it going to be called? Some of the Wills.
Diary of the Wills.
Yeah.
Guardians of the Wills. No,
that'd be cool though.
Yeah. I kind of hope
the Pulse is with me.
I was really hoping they would kind of explore the Wills in the sequels. So I was kind of disappointed with that.
I was hoping like Clone Wars would do it a little bit more, but
and that too, yeah. And they kind of got there with the Force priestesses. I guess it's kind of
we'll see what the
maybe they'll get there in Ahsoka or Kenobi even because Kenobi will be exploring.
I think we might take a jump. Exactly, Qui-Gon. I think we might get like a stepping stone into more mystical stuff with Kenobi.
Yeah, which by the way, I need to bring up Qui-Gon later too in this episode, but we'll get through the list first. What is your number 7?
7.
Yeah.
Revenge of the Sith.
Whoa!
Wow,
that's different.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
now you're gonna have to elaborate on that one.
Well,
choose your words carefully. Just kidding. This is a public forum.
This is a safe space. Now the comments might not be.
I have zero problems with it. It's the best of the prequels on my list. Certainly. I think I like the sequels more than y'all do, and I have all of the original trilogy up there too, and also Rogue One, which I just actually really liked.
Yeah, well, good. We'll have a lot to talk about when we get to Rogue One. All right, number 6 for me is Phantom Menace, which I like the way it's right in the middle. Sits well for me. I like it. It's got a lot of good, got a lot of bad. Take them both, and there you have the facts of life.
But at the end of the day, you have Darth Maul,
and Darth Maul.
I mean,
also criminally underused in that movie.
In that movie, once
again, in that movie,
we are so spoiled by the Clone Wars and Rebels and all that. I mean, so spoiled. Like, because Maul is one of my favorite characters in the entirety of Star Wars. But he was. I was a kid. He was because he just looked cool. But ever since Clone Wars, that backstory they gave him, he's so compelling.
Yeah. By the way, we just watched Solo with my girlfriend for the first time, and she was like, at the end of the movie, spoiler, she was like, before, like when she just heard the voice, she's like, "Is that Darth Maul?" I'm like so proud moment.
Yeah,
she got it from the voice, which is awesome.
Shout out Sam Witwer.
Yeah, he's great. He's Darth Maul. Yeah. So anyway, to get back to Phantom Menace is just it's got the best duel, I think. I mean, Anakin Obi-Wan's great, but Anakin Obi-Wan's a little flashy. Like
you could. The Duel of the Fates, you can see what's going on.
Yeah, exactly. I think it's perfect.
There's none of that disco, the swinging it like that, and there's like the disco lights in that GIF where it's like
exactly.
Brave.
Yeah,
blue sticks.
That's basically what it is, which is really good. But I can see why people wouldn't like that either. But,
and it's just so fast.
Yeah, and it's got I don't know. I think the story's great. I like the idea of Anakin's story, and I don't know, just like like a lot about it. And what I don't like is I think it's a little it could be a little more joyful. Like the Jedi are just too stoic, which I know that's the point, but like I don't know. It's like when you see Anakin and Obi-Wan in Revenge of the Sith, it's great. Like they have like a fun back and forth, but they're also serious Jedi. But in like Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan were just so stoic. It's like
that is true when I think about it. Like
Yeah.
they don't smile once.
like that's what. Yeah, I don't think Obi-Wan smiles, and he says the negotiations. He smiles there, and then he smiles at the very end of the movie. But yeah, that's something that's always bothered me. I just feel like could have been less uptight. Like the whole movie just felt like taking itself too seriously for a movie that was like.
And then you get Jar Jar, and the contrast is very jarring.
Yeah, exactly.
Very jarring.
So I just think they could have found a happier medium. But that was my number 6. What's your number 6?
My number 6 is Phantom Menace.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so
Right in the middle.
I was waiting for you, but same reasons, all that. What Sean said, everything. It looks the best out of the prequels to me. Just visually, it really does. And there's some scenes of Revenge of the Sith that I like better than most of Phantom Menace, but on the whole, I do like the Phantom Menace because they use a lot of real sets, and it's
Practical effects.
Practical effects are great. We love that. And it just looks better to me.
It does. Yeah, it really does.
Like even the Naboo Royal ship, like the silver looks believable. Like the CGI on that, the silver,
it's weird.
The chromium plated.
How much worse it looks in Attack of the Clones.
It's crazy.
But yeah.
But that's really all I have to say about Phantom Menace. I love it. It was the first one I saw in theaters, and I'm always gonna be in love with it. Love Darth Maul, always have.
Yeah.
It's fun.
If you're our age, you
fun.
probably have to like it, at least for the nostalgia.
Because because I grew up on the VHSs of the originals,
and you were Darth Maul for Halloween.
And I was Darth Maul for Halloween. Me and my sister, she was Lala from the Teletubbies, and I was Darth Maul.
Grogu Lala.
Grogu Lala. Yeah,
cool.
What's your number 6?
Rogue One.
Okay,
So
right in the middle.
I said it was.
So that's funny. Yeah, so that's got low tier, mid tier, and high tier.
That's yeah.
But we'll get to
that. Is what a divisive film.
Yeah. But it's not.
It's really not.
It's not. It's just I'm just I don't know. I don't know if I'm in the minority, but I don't know. But the thing is, I've showed Star Wars now to my whole family, and they've seen all of them, and it's been like without me like being biased and saying anything to them, it's like pretty consistent. Like the movies they like, which is all the Skywalker movies, and then Rogue One is actually everybody else's least favorite, which is weird because it's a lot of people's favorite. But yeah, mid tier.
Yeah, I think what you said you don't like about it, I kind of appreciated, which there's not as much force wielding. And I thought it was cool that they made a compelling story in the Star Wars universe without.
Yeah, they did a good job of doing that. It's just like, it's like for me, it's like, I don't know, like cake without icing. It's just like it's not complete unless I have
Rogue One. I mean, there is the Force in there, but it's the most subtle use of it for sure.
Yeah.
Like whoever said that Chirrut is not using the Force, I still don't buy that. There's this,
who said that?
I think one of the showrunners did. One of the directors. Yeah, he's actually not Force sensitive. Like, yes, he is. Like, he is Force sensitive. Like, you can't just. I mean, I know you wrote it, but no, you're wrong.
Yeah. Also, like, you look at the scene at the end when he's like, all those shots just missed him.
Missed him. It's the will of the Force working.
I mean, to be fair, it is stormtroopers.
I think. Well, but it's Death Troopers. So.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but I think the will of the Force was written into the novelization of Rogue One. That's what's happening. The will of the Force was making him not get shot. So each member died at right when they needed to.
Yeah.
To keep the good guys winning. Which is beautiful. It's beautiful and poetic in that. But
I think it's visually amazing. I think it's the best.
Well, speaking of who was it? It was the Godzilla guy.
Gareth Edwards.
Gareth Edwards, yeah, man. He did those monumental things. He was perfect for that because you got big things, Godzilla, Death Star, Star Destroyers. It was perfect. That giant statue of the Jedi on Jeddah. Yeah.
Yeah, to me, I think it's...
The cinematography is my favorite.
A lot of people say Last Jedi is their favorite, but as far as cinematography, Rogue One is my favorite. It's just like, I don't know. It's hard to find any faults with it.
Just that one shot, that first time you see the Death Star and the dishes going in.
Yeah.
And it's like, you don't know what it is because you see the Star Destroyer.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden the Star Destroyer passes over it and you just see how massive it is. You finally get, because like, I think in A New Hope, you don't really understand the scale as much.
Yeah.
You don't get the scale, but when you see it next to a Star Destroyer, you're like, okay, that's huge.
Yeah. Yeah. It's, and also, side note, I like that they brought and Ahsoka says, "I'm one with the Force, and the Force is with me." In Clone Wars, after that, that's cool. We like connectivity over here.
Sure do.
So that was that your turn? You said Rogue One. Do you have any more to say about that one?
No.
All right. So number 5 for me is Rise of Skywalker, which, if I'm going to be honest, is probably the worst. I see why people, but I see why people rank it Solo, but I also don't see how they don't have fun. So, but like it's just the editing is the number one complaint, and then the ending, the editing, the beginning and the ending, is not great. But what I do like, I really like. I love Han's scene. I love Luke's scene. I think Leia was handled really well. I love Kylo. I love Ben Solo. I like his depiction. I don't like, Palpatine's return. Palpatine was great. Like, whether or not you liked how he came back, he was amazing. Better than ever.
He was chewing that scenery. He was
Yeah.
doing what he did best, man. Hamming it up. I love it. That's the only way you can do it for
It's
Palpatine.
the scariest Palpatine's ever been. I mean, if you're gonna be,
have made.
look what you have, and it's just like, and then the bass rumble when he shoots the Star Destroyers. It's like,
It's so good.
yeah.
It's so
I mean, there's so much in there that I really like.
It had
Like,
great sound design. I will give it that.
Yeah.
Like the sound design in that was awesome.
I mean, it's a mess, but it's a beautiful.
That's
mess.
what I think. It just feels like an incomplete thing.
Yeah.
It feels like if they spent some more time on it and filled in some of the gaps, it would have been one of my top favorites probably.
Yeah.
But they didn't.
But I put it so high because, like, if I were to have fun, like wanted to watch a movie just because and enjoy it and just have fun, I would still rank that above all the other ones I said. Even though, like, I still think, honestly, Last Jedi is a better made movie. But like, I don't like a lot of it. But then Rise of Skywalker is like what it does well. I love, and that's like, and a lot of it, it's just. And then of course killing off Ben really upset me, and no real Anakin. That was kind of a bummer, but at least
you had my favorite Jedi.
They had
overpowering
Kanan.
him.
Yeah, very strange.
Yeah,
that they had Kanan.
Kanan Jarrus was louder than Hayden Christensen in that.
It's very weird. But
You're Freddie Prinze.
I guess because technically he might be a bigger name than Hayden Christensen as far as because Hayden's Anakin, and that's basically what he's known for. But Freddie Prinze Jr. has been in a lot. That's my only theory because I don't know why.
The dude was Fred. Come on.
Yeah, he's Fred.
Scooby Doo.
And so I guess that's the only theory I have why he's louder, because
It costs more.
yeah, he could. He may be, honestly. But I like it. It's got its flaws, but we could talk about that all day. What's your number 6?
Solo. No, 5, right?
5. Oh, 5. Sorry.
Or, okay, I was just making sure.
No, you're right.
Make sure I
Yeah.
didn't skip because I'm scatterbrained, So,
Me too.
Solo is my number 5. Just so much fun. I enjoy every second of that movie. Like, I'm sitting there. It's nothing mind blowing in the sense of like lore or anything. I mean, it fills in the backstory for Han pretty well. I love all the characters. I love Beckett. I love I love everything about Woody Harrelson in that movie. He's so good.
Yeah.
It's so good.
And Donald Glover's great too.
Oh yeah. No, Donald Glover did the perfect Lando. And the little nods they do, even the little jokes.
Han.
Like Han.
I love
Actually,
that.
it's Han. Like,
Yeah.
that's so good. Because
Sabak.
just because
It's such a great
because Billy D's
retcon.
he says
basically.
that right when he's
he
meeting
says,
him on Cloud City.
Yeah.
Han.
He says Han, old buddy. And so everybody's like, why does he call him Han? And now, like, and I don't know why. I kind of wonder how, like, in shows they can get away with mispronouncing things. Like, did the director just like, whatever, it's close enough.
That's cool. And also,
George would have done that, but George wasn't the director for Empire. So
and some of the set designs for Solo were some of my favorites too.
Mhm.
Like, I love the slums of Corellia. That is something cool that we don't see very much. Like, that's like, you don't think of like the slum worlds like Nar Shaddaa or stuff like that. It's what it kind of reminded me of. It was like the underworld, and I love what's her name, the worm lady.
Proxima.
Lady
Yeah,
Proxima.
she's cool.
Yeah, it felt very out of like Dark Crystal to me. Like something like that. Something very very old school
Jim
and retro.
Henson. Yeah.
Which is really cool. His origin. Love the Millennium Falcon design in Solo. I love how it was an escape pod. They jettisoned it. That's why it became its classic design. But I like that sleek nose design that they have for the most of the movie.
Yeah.
And I like, just this is a side note for Solo, how the plug-in Elite L3 into the Falcon, and
Oh, yeah.
that's the Falcon's personality now. And I think
that's why they called her
C-3PO.
you know,
What do he say? He's like,
Yeah.
he's got a very peculiar accent.
yeah, some primitive dialect or something like that.
Yeah, so that the little things. Solo was full of little things, and
Yeah.
of course, Darth Maul at the end.
I love all the little things too. Yeah, I think I was watching it again. I think the first 30 minutes kind of drag for me. It's like it takes a while for like not until it's when he meets Lando. I feel like everything kind of picks up. I feel like the whole train scene was kind of just okay. And then I don't know. I don't like the first 30 minutes. I feel like my ranking would be a lot higher if it were, cut off or just re-edit and repaste that. But
me being a history buff too, that the Mimban scene that's the first time I've ever seen something like World War One depicted in any other kind of medium. It was literally just like trench warfare, World War One, which I thought was cool because I'm a huge history nerd. So like I was like, that's new. I've never seen that in any kind of like fantasy movie, a World War One setting. So that was cool to me, and that whole scene was great. And I love the Chewie scene too. I really just love Solo. It's fun. It's a fun popcorn flick.
Yeah, I like it a lot. I don't like this. The cinematography is kind of weird. It's really dark.
It's very dark.
Like you have to adjust your TV.
And
dark.
some of the camera movements are kind of janky.
Yeah.
Very, very choppy sometimes.
But they did good. They basically rehauled that whole movie.
I mean,
remember they reshot like 75% of it.
Lord and Miller.
Because they were fired.
Yeah, because they were trying to do 21 Jump Street in the Star Wars universe, which is kind of funny to me. But
I would love to see it, like to see what left stayed off. And Rogue One has like a completely different cut too, so I would love to see all these.
They need
and Rise of Skywalker. That's got a different cut. I just feel like I would love to see these one day. One day we'll probably see them, but it might be a while. What's your number 5? Or is it 5? Yeah,
5. Yeah, my 5 is The Force Awakens.
Okay. Yeah, solid, right?
Yeah, I love it. I would even switch 5 and 4, so we'll see what 4 is in a minute. But
yeah, some of these are pretty close, interchangeable.
Yeah, it got me excited about Star Wars again, and excited for this trilogy.
It got me. Yeah, I hadn't like. I watched the Clone Wars, but like I was not like. I'm a bigger fan now than I ever was, which is funny, because I thought I was a huge fan then, but now. Yeah, so I mean, it's hard to not. I mean, that's just it. Launched everything we have now, for better for worse. Which will lead me to my number 4, which is Force Awakens.
Nice.
Just really, really like it. I think it's it has its flaws. I think, as I said earlier, like the First Order could have been more creative and like the mystery box stuff. But other than that, I think it's a solid movie. It's got Han is great in it. It's the pace of it is the best to me. Is the best paced Star Wars movie, which is ironic because Rise of Skywalker is the worst as far as pacing goes. And they were both directed by JJ, which makes me think something wacky was going on. Wacky is my word of the day, by the way. I've said that a few times.
JJ was just rushed.
Yeah, exactly.
He had some time to figure out Force Awakens.
Because Bob Iger really wanted to. He was rigid. He wasn't going to move that release date.
That's how he was for Solo too, right? That's why it came out in May.
Yeah.
Ridiculous. That movie could have been
bad decisions,
even better.
But they don't care. I mean, they just wanted the money, Right. But Solo was a bad decision, like.
Especially coming off the heels of the most controversial Star Wars. Like it was like 3-4 months later.
They really should have waited till December.
Should have let the because I think attitudes have cooled down now, but then it was still like right. It was boiling.
Yeah. So I mean, Force Awakens is I love most of it. I mean, there's not much I don't like. Like it's just fun, and the pacing is so good. So that's what I have to say about that. What's your number 4?
My number 4 is Empire. Empire Strikes Back. Number 4, it's the, what can I say? It's the best made of all of them. It is the best put together. The only one that could be considered a really good piece of cinema, like a really good piece of a film, like a good film on its own merits. Of course, it brings in Boba Fett, which, for me, it's my favorite character. So like that alone. I love Darth Vader is great. In Empire, he is menacing,
very scary,
but you start to see the little cracks at the end coming in. Yeah, I love it. They do it so naturally, and I think that was a last second decision too to do that, right?
To do what?
To make Darth Vader his dad, right?
I don't know if it was last minute, but it was under wraps for sure.
Right. The original spoiler.
It wasn't in the cards since A New Hope. We
No,
know,
right,
we know
right,
that.
right. Which is funny because the word Sith was, but it doesn't get used. That's so funny to me. They had
But it's
Sith.
in that deleted scene though, which is crazy.
That's true.
Huh.
I didn't believe that exists. Like I didn't, and that was just released like a couple of years ago. It's crazy, like how that was kept in the vaults. That it was in the scene at the on the Death Star, and he talks about Vader being a Sith. So,
But yep,
strange.
Yep. Empire. It's every scene. Every scene is good. Every scene is good.
There's very little to like critique on that one. I think. What's your number? What are we? We're still at 4. Yeah, 4.
My 4 is Rise of Skywalker.
Okay, that's the one you're interchangeable.
Yeah, those are really close.
Me too. I got 4 and 5. It just depends on the mood for me and like and what I'm trying to get out of it. If I want to like critique the movie, The Force Awakens is much better. But also like, yeah.
I also saw Rise of Skywalker with friends in like an IMAX setting, like the biggest screen, and really enjoyed my first viewing of it. And definitely agree that that it was rushed and that the pacing was rushed. But it has some of the like coolest moments, like shots, like
exactly.
visual, and it has the advantage of being the most recent. So like special effects were the best. And I also loved Ben Solo. Like no complaints really with Ben.
Yeah, and we kind of talked about him saying "ow" in the last podcast.
Ow.
We kind of elaborated on why that might be the case, and had a lot to do with Darksiders using their pain.
His little shrug.
Yeah, I like it. No complaints as far as his characterization, as far as the way he was handled. His death is. Whew.
Yeah, and I thought all the performances were incredible. I think it really just got screwed in editing.
Yeah, and they always talked about New Hope being like saved in the editing. I really think there's a good like re-edit of this movie, and who knows, maybe after the Snyder cut coming out, they might actually be inclined to like re-edit it. I mean, I kind of doubt it, but it would benefit greatly.
No, because the Snyder cut was still bad.
Well, I didn't even watch the Snyder cut, but
it was still not good.
I started to watch it, and I was like, I just can't.
It's so
I know
bad.
I know it's 4 hours separated into like
6 parts.
6 parts, but I still couldn't.
It's too long.
Me and Brooklyn were sitting there like, why is this happening? No, you're not doing anything different, really. It's just like more of the same. And I'm like, it's not good. I don't like the DC universe at all. I
think it was way better than the first version that came out.
That's true.
Josh Whedon. But too long. They should have just made more movies.
Yeah, they could have like separated it, and I don't know.
And
I didn't watch it, so I can't even say. I'm barely like I watched 6 minutes of it.
I'm a big fan of The Flash, and I liked that they were able to flesh the Flash out.
Flesh the Flash.
There are some incredible Flash moments in the Snyder cut.
Yeah, I'll probably watch it at some point. But so my number now, top 3. These are pretty interchangeable, but Empire Strikes Back, number 3. Nothing to say.
Nothing to say. I mean, if you're listening to this, you've seen it.
Yeah, if you haven't,
I mean, spoilers.
Yeah,
Darth Vader looks sad. Like I don't.
If you're listening,
I don't know what to tell you.
And you've made it this far and you haven't seen that movie, I don't know what's going on in your life.
Unless you just like to hear our voice, and our voice soothes you.
ASMR. So that's my number 3. What's your number 3?
Number 3 is Return of the Jedi. Yep, that's my favorite of the. I know a lot of people complain about whatever Ewoks and the Jabba scenes or whatever. I think it's all fun, just from start to finish. I think Return of the Jedi is the most swashbuckling kind of pirate movie, kind of like Errol Flynn, just like having just heroic moments. I love it. Like the whole barge scene was basically a pirate Robin Hood, Robin Hood kind of thing. Yeah. I loved, man. It's just like it's like they're basically swashbuckling, which is great, and the attitudes and everything about it. Especially now that we know that Boba Fett didn't die. It boosted my opinion even more. So,
by the way, just want to I was thinking about this the other day. When I think of Boba Fett now, I don't think of the original trilogy. I think of the Mandalorian, which is great,
right?
Because that's how he should have been,
right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's great in my mind that he's gone from this nobody to like a character I actually really care about,
right? And the only reason I cared about him since I was a kid is because
the EU
man, he trained the Solo kids. He trained his daughter. He led the Mandalorians. He was a different character completely in the expanded universe. But he was also Mandalorian, which they have finally corrected and amended that.
Yeah.
So I'm so happy about that.
Yeah.
But Return of the Jedi, it's just fun. It's fun. And of course the throne room scene is the best scene in Star Wars, probably.
Well,
to me.
we'll talk about that in like 2 seconds. Because what's yours? Number 3.
3 for me is The Empire Strikes Back.
Oh, yep, solid.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anything to say about it? It's hard to like find anything to say about it because it's just, I mean, everybody knows it's good.
Yeah. I mean,
it's got
everything.
Yeah. All right. So number 2 is Return of the Jedi, but that I want to say 1 and 2 are very, very, very interchangeable. Return of the Jedi, though, might get the number 2 just because it's less consistent. But yeah, it's like it's got so many good scenes, and the throne room scenes make up for what isn't so great.
Yeah.
It's just I love it. I mean, every time everything with Luke, Palpatine, and Vader, every scene that they're in is perfect. And like, and the build up, and then like when Luke, unleashes or unloads on Vader, and like, all of it.
And speaking of Vader, you can't even see his face, but you could still what he's feeling, and you know what his face looks like.
Yeah, I wanted
to
comment on that as well. That David Prowse's very underrated body actor.
Very underrated.
If you look at that, I mean, like
when he's looking, when the Emperor's like shocking Luke, he's looking back and forth between the two, and I'm like, dude, that's a dad in turmoil right now. I'm like, and that's me as an older person. Like, I didn't really notice that when I was a kid. I just like it's like Return of the Jedi just because it was fun. But no, like the actual acting, body acting, and the whole third, and of course Ian McDiarmid is just absolutely so good. Like. He was really supposed to have like a really deep voice, like a really deep commanding voice, and then Ian McDiarmid was like, "Why don't I make it sound like a cackle?" Like
interesting.
Like, yeah, so he made that choice to make it more of a.
I did not know that.
More of a laughing dictator,
It's great. I mean, and then
maniacal, exactly.
And then again on David Prowse, like in the scene when he's with Luke, when Luke surrenders himself, and he's like, "Then my father is truly dead or gone," whatever he says. Nothing to say other than like I just love every scene with Vader and Luke and Palpatine. And it makes it number 2 for me. Maybe number 1, just depends on when you ask me. So what's your number 2?
My number 2 is Revenge of the Sith.
I knew that.
I love it. I just love it. I love that movie. I it still has Count Dooku in it. It has General Grievous, who I love, Clone Wars, obviously. He's kind of a waste in the actual movie, but once again, spoiled by the Clone Wars. Obi-Wan, Ewan McGregor kills it. I love Hayden Christensen did a really good job in that movie. I don't care what people say.
Yeah.
Like, he did a fantastic job with what he was given.
I think he was a much better Anakin than Vader, but like when he turned to Vader at the end, it was maybe not as great. But I still think I think he did a good job as well.
I just that one, the Battle of the Heroes is a awesome, very emotional for me. Every time I watch it now, I'm just like, man, that's rough. And just everything about it. I don't know.
It's
Order 66
it's
gets
the
me
most
every time.
epic Star Wars movie by far.
It is. It has the biggest scale, I think.
Yeah. The stakes are the highest. Like it's one thing about the sequels is the stakes don't feel very, very high at all.
Well, because you don't ever see what the bad guys are doing ever.
Yeah.
I mean, they're just floating in space the entire time. Like,
just leave it to Mandalorian or Ahsoka to fill that in. But
we're gonna get with Mandalorian a little bit with the Snoke.
Well, we got the little Snoke tease.
Pickled Snoke.
Something's gonna come up in one of these shows. Your number 2?
Also Return of the Jedi.
Nice. Good choice. Yeah. It's just, I mean, if you'd asked me when I was a kid, I would have been like, no, it's Empire. But if I'm honest with myself, which I am now, if I'm looking at this list, this is like a list that's just pure honesty. Like he has to be, like, because there's some weird opinions, but I think everybody has opinions that people kind of scoff at. But
I think we all had A New Hope pretty low.
Yeah, which is funny.
Which is most people would like. If I was around a group of people, I feel like I would get into an argument.
Yeah,
like they'd be like, A New Hope's so much better than Phantom Menace.
Well, the fact that I have Rise of Skywalker above A New Hope would really upset some people. But if I'm being honest, I'd rather watch Rise of Skywalker any day. All right, so that was 2. All right, so our number 1, this is the big one for everybody. Revenge of the Sith is my number 1.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Completely agree, but not completely, but
almost completely.
What I'm
agree.
saying, I get where you're coming from with it. Yep.
Yeah. It's solid. There's like very few things that I would change. Maybe cut out the scene of Anakin and Padme on the roof.
Take
Or
that
he's
out
like,
and
I'm
put.
so in love. No, it's because I'm so in love with you.
so in love with you.
Yeah, a couple things like that.
I could have done without seeing Hayden Christensen's nipples. I don't.
Hey, I'm fine with that. I have no issue
I don't want
with
to see
that.
my Anakin's nipples. No thanks.
I know.
It's like
I
the George Clooney Batman where they zoom in on the nipples.
Oh yeah, Joel Schumacher version.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember you said when you were a kid you hated to. You didn't
I was
wanna
like,
see
I don't want
it.
to. I don't want to see it. Ooh, that's weird.
Yeah, it's just a great movie. I mean, like,
Yeah.
and plus I've shown Star Wars now, all of them to my family and my girlfriend, and they unanimously agree with Revenge of the Sith, I think. So,
Which is so
Very
funny
cool.
because my family's kind of the same way, but they hate the first two. They hate
1 and 2.
Phantom and
Yeah.
Attack of the Clones, but they love.
Yeah, well, I think most people. I mean, the general consensus is that 3 is the best of the prequels,
Oh,
but
definitely.
yeah, I don't have much to say. You're number 1. We could talk all day about because I know he loves this one, and this is just interesting.
It's the only one that puts the war in the Star War. Rogue One is my number 1. Name my car, my Rogue, Felicity.
Oh
Yeah, no, I love Rogue One. A lot of people say the first half is rushed, and I get that. There's not much character development. Some people call Jen a wet napkin, basically. But honestly, if you think about it, and the scene that really gets me that I disprove people on that is, she's basically just been battered since she was like 4 years old, 5 years old. Also, an anecdote: I like Rogue One because before it even came out, I had read the prequel novel Catalyst. So
yeah.
I got the insight to Krennic. That made him. He's probably my favorite Star Wars villain, if I'm being honest, because of that book. Because he's just so different. He's not a warlord. He's a bureaucrat.
Yeah.
He's just like a normal dude, just trying to impress people, like go up the corporate ladder. So
I do want to read it.
He's you see that he's kind of a fish out of water because he's just trying to be impressive to his bosses. But I loved Tarkin in it. I think Tarkin looked great. I think that CGI was great.
It's better than Mandalorian Luke for sure.
But it's better
Yeah.
than Leia, Rise of Skywalker.
Really?
Luke's was good. I like in Rise of Skywalker.
Oh, you mean the flashback?
The flashback,
I was like,
yes.
Leia wasn't.
Yeah.
No, totally. Yeah.
And Leia at the end of Rogue One.
Leia's was in. I don't know. Leia and Skywalker and in Rise of Skywalker, and then Luke and Mandalorian are both pretty bad.
I don't know why, but they can go back. They could probably re-release that and clean that
I wish
up.
they would.
Yeah.
Like, they could, but it's not George anymore.
We're
So it's like,
Shout out Sebastian Stan. Just get him in there.
yeah, yeah. By the way, Falcon and Winter Soldier. I'm watching that.
So good.
I'm enjoying it.
So good.
And he would be, and he's already said. Sebastian Stan said, "I'll do it if Mark Hamill calls me personally."
Yeah.
And-
Tells me it's okay.
Yeah, and Mark Hamill already agreed to it. So
That
it's just Disney.
That would be
doing it.
fantastic. I'm loving Falcon and Winter Soldier. It's
Yeah, me
good.
too.
And it's showing Sebastian Stan's his acting chops
Uh-huh.
off. He can do Luke.
Oh,
is what
yeah.
I'm saying. Like, it'd be very easy for him.
Yeah, he's great.
But-
And he looks like him and is close to the right age. He's a little older, but yeah, it would be a waste to not have him. Somebody who looks like him, who can act, and who has the connection with Disney already. It'd be a waste to not do that. So I hope there's some secret show with him that we just don't know about. You're number 1.
A New Hope.
Oh, that's interesting. That's what I
Yeah.
thought was left.
Yeah. And I will say I probably do give it just a little bit of a boost being the original and
Yeah.
introducing all these characters. But I also do love rewatching it.
Yeah.
And, it's talk about nostalgia for the prequels. The prequels kind of felt like mine
Mhm.
because I was a kid
Yeah.
and Anakin was a kid and he was doing the pod racing. And,
Yeah.
the original trilogy felt like my dad's, and he kind of like introduced me to Star
yeah.
Wars and a lot of science fiction, and it's something that we always bonded over, and so there's like a different kind of nostalgia there for the original Star Wars.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to like say anything bad about that one either. I mean, it's campy, I guess. But
You best bet if it's on TNT on Star
I was
Wars
gonna
Week, and I'm
say.
watching it. I'm plugging it
That's right.
on. I'm putting it on TiVo, pausing it when I go to the bathroom, not missing it. So
it was the first Star Wars movie I saw was A New Hope, and I remember seeing it at I took karate, and they had a lock-in, and then I fell asleep, so I don't know if that counts, but I remember, and then like after that, it was like in my head, like C-3PO and R2-D2 were like ingrained in my head, so I wanted to find out more. Plus, Darth Vader just looked cool. But then I think I saw it on TV, which is funny because you say TNT. It might have been TNT back in the day.
It's either that or Harry Potter.
Yeah,
at all times, freeform.
Yeah, pretty much. Freeform ABC Family, formerly. Yeah, I mean it's solid. So there's our list. Controversy in different places, but I think everybody's list is like that if they're going to be honest with themselves. So if you're listening, comment your list. I'll put the link to this generator, which kind of makes it easy, and it's pretty accurate.
All opinions are welcome.
All opinions are
people
welcome.
like different genres. I love war movies.
Yeah,
yeah,
but
and I don't.
You like the Force. Is what I'm saying. Like
yeah,
you like
a mix.
The sequels apparently.
Just kidding.
Hey, I
whatever
like
those were.
Too. But yeah. So well, I don't know how much time we have left. Let's touch base on a little bit of I think we got a little bit of time we could kill. Just kind of recap what we've missed the past 3 weeks because we've all been pretty busy. So Bad Batch new trailer came out.
I know I haven't seen it yet.
Oh, you haven't seen it? Oh, well, we're gonna talk about it.
Yeah,
right
go
now.
for it. I'll watch it.
So Saw Gerrera is in the trailer. Fennec Shan. And then, but to me, the most interesting thing is Omega, which is the little girl. So there's a little girl in there who I think probably like a genetic female clone of Jango or something. She
got blonde hair though.
Right, but if you look at the face, it looks very much like
she's tan,
like the Boba's art. But
she
either that or
a Kiwi accent there.
Yeah, she does. She does.
Does she really?
Yeah, she does.
Okay.
Yeah.
Didn't see that.
She
That's
says
cool.
tick, tick, tick.
Tack, tack. Yeah.
So yeah, no, she definitely does, and but also if she was raised by them, maybe that makes sense.
Yeah.
Some people think she might be a early Palpatine clone, which would be cool.
That would be cool.
That would be a nice connection.
She looked like a Mandalorian to me, like the native Mandalorian.
Yeah, she does.
Like
with the blonde hair. Yeah,
the Kryze family.
Who knows? I mean, she's somebody. I think. But then again,
she's kind of mysterious.
Yeah, exactly. And her name's Omega, which makes me think she's the last of the clones.
Yeah, that's what I thought when you said the name.
That's interesting. And
so I don't know, or maybe it's a Palpatine and Jango hybrid. Who knows?
Ooh.
Oh, hey, it's cloning. I don't know how that works. So
he's just a simple man,
They're trying to make his way in the universe. Whatever it takes.
Yeah.
So
no, I'm excited for Bad Batch, man. I think I commented on Sean's. He posted about it. And I said, "Hey, you had me at Tarkin. I'm staying for Fennec." It's like,
oh yeah,
just get Tarkin out there immediately. He's also one of my favorite bad guys. Of course, I read the novel Tarkin. That helps too.
I love Tarkin now. It's funny he was in one movie, and then like now he's in all this stuff.
He's
like Darth Maul.
Rebels, Clone Wars, and now Bad Batch.
Yeah.
And Rogue One, I guess. Yeah,
and Rogue One. Yeah. So
he's definitely he's just cool. He oozes like the cool, calculating warlord, whereas he's like the antithesis of Krennic. I think it's so funny because
I'll need to read the Tarkin novel. I know I've been
Tarkin and Catalyst. You would enjoy both of them because Catalyst also goes into like the Geonosians.
Yeah,
how they built the Death Star.
The Death Star thing. I was kind of hoping they'd go into that more in Rebels, but they kind of
just that one episode they did. Where Saul was like, "Let's genocide them."
Yeah, exactly.
Saul.
Oh, Saul. Yeah, Saul Gerrera's in it.
Saul's in Bad Batch.
Fennec, and then the Rex is in there briefly. Which and there's been rumors that like Barriss Offee will come back.
That is exciting.
I hope it's true.
I hope it's true too, because she was like one of the bad guys in Clone Wars. Was like, yeah, your methods are bad. It's kind of like Carly Morgenthau.
Yeah, exactly.
in Falcon, but I was like, man,
who is in Solo, by the way?
She is. She's
Enfys Nest.
The swoop bike riders. Enfys Nest.
Yeah.
I thought that was a weird name.
It is.
Sounds like she should be like an insect kind of creature or something.
Enfys Nest. Yeah.
But no, I'm excited about Bad Batch. Fennec. That's going to be interesting to me, just to see what her origins are. I think she was hunting down the Bad Batch. I think potentially
that might be how she meets Boba Fett, though. Through the show.
Oh yeah.
If you think about it, I mean that makes sense.
Boba would be 16-ish.
Yeah. Well, I guess I don't know.
I would hope they would get Daniel Logan back.
Oh, I'm sure they would.
Shout out Daniel Logan.
Hey, Daniel.
Yeah,
we'll tag you.
Yeah, no, he responds to it too.
Oh yeah,
yeah. He's responded to my stuff.
He's a good guy.
He's a great guy. He just went to space.
What?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, he went to space.
That's cool.
Yeah. Hey, I follow him on Instagram, and there's a video of him getting in a NASA suit. Yeah.
Well, shout out to Daniel Logan. That's pretty cool. Maybe the first Star Wars actor to go to space.
I would say so.
Think so.
That sounds.
No, they were all in space.
Didn't
they
you see
filmed
the
in
movie?
space. Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah. I was thinking of Star Trek. Yeah.
Beam me up.
I think, and then the other thing I want to touch upon is Kenobi, because just shared a photo of Ewan McGregor and his Kenobi beard.
Mm-hmm.
That's so excited
the
about
most
that.
hype.
Yeah, it's got to. I mean,
Yeah,
it has to be for me. I mean,
it's a great cast too.
it's that and Ahsoka are very, very close, but I have to go with Kenobi just for the nostalgia.
Yeah.
I can't wait to see what they do with Kenobi, and then whatever Taika does. Those are two that I'm excited for. But Kenobi, obviously you want.
Owen and Beru are back.
Yeah,
Confirmed.
Joel Edgerton and
Which he's an underrated actor. I think he was kind of wasted in the prequels too.
he wasn't as famous then either.
True, but
he's been in more stuff now.
Yeah, he's a good actor.
Great Gatsby and
Yeah,
Black Mass and all that, and really good roles.
and that like a horror movie that came out recently, or a thriller, and he directed it. It was good. I don't remember what it was though.
That was Michael Jackson.
Thriller. No, I don't remember what it was. A good movie though. Whatever it was, you got to look it up.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah.
So he'll be back, and then we get to see more of why he hates Obi-Wan, I guess.
We've seen that in the comics though, a little bit. Too,
Yeah, we
which
did,
is in their
yeah.
canon. So he thinks
The
he's
one
just-
where he looks like Abraham Lincoln, Obi-Wan.
he does look like Abe Lincoln.
It's weird. I just saw that for the first time.
12 parsecs ago.
Yeah, he really looks like Abraham Lincoln. It's kind of weird, but I'm sure we'll explore that, and also Qui-Gon in the new Skywalker family book, they point out that it's 10 years. It took Qui-Gon 10 years to manifest to Obi-Wan, or
did they
just
say like as a physically or
I
as a voice?
I can't remember.
Disembodied voice, because they can totally retcon the
certain point of view.
certain point of view
Yeah.
book, which I think Qui-Gon first materialized right as Obi-Wan was going to
Mm.
go into, or as soon as Luke was
It might
arriving.
just be communicating in general. I don't actually know, but in the book, I posted it on our story, but
That's
yeah.
cool. And Liam Neeson,
Basically-
Liam Neeson is so down still.
My point of that is that it lines up exactly. The fact that they said 10 years, and this show takes place 10 years after Revenge of the Sith.
That would be
That's a
fantastic.
weird coincidence.
Oh, yeah.
I feel like it's very intentional. Like, why would they even put 10 years in the book if there weren't like a connection there?
And also, what is Hayden doing?
Yeah, exactly.
What
I
is he
wanna-
doing? Nobody knows.
I think it's going to be a mixture of flashbacks and helmetless, and maybe like visions of what could have been.
Wow.
It's gonna get crazy, and I'm excited about it. I hope they get a little weird, not like too weird.
No, they can get weird with me.
Save the weird stuff for like the Ahsoka and Taika's thing.
They can get weird with me. I mean,
What is Taika's thing? What's that?
we don't know.
We
It's
don't-
just
Sean and I have theorized that it may have something to do with Mortis,
Mortis
or the origins of the Force, the wills.
because there's the poster that came out for the movie, which is no title or anything or release date even. I don't think. It's like it has the little symbol that either could be Mortis or the beginning of the Jedi. It's just one of those.
World Between Worlds.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Something like that.
So I get weird, and Taika is perfect for
Yes.
getting weird.
And if it's about that, that might be. It's so far away for me to get hyped about it. But
Yeah.
if it's about one of those things, I think that might be definitely the most hyped movie, because I think the only other one is Rogue Squadron.
I'm excited about Rogue
And maybe
Squadron.
they're right.
Of course.
It'll be fine.
It'll be fine. It'll be fine. It'll be good. It's
That's just
Star
how I
Wars.
feel about those kind of unless there's more to it than Top Gun in space. But I don't know yet.
I love Top Gun in space. What are you talking about?
Well, what I'm looking forward to is supposedly it takes place after Episode 9.
Yeah,
That's what I'm
Ooh.
excited.
I did
about.
see that. So you could have Wedge
Yeah.
in there at his current age. I hope Dennis
Wedge.
Lawson would go in there and do it, because I mean, he says he hates Star Wars, but he must need the money because he was in Rise of Skywalker.
And you could get
Yeah.
Poe in there too. And,
You get Poe. Yeah,
probably have a Rey cameo, honestly, because that'll be 2 years from now. I think people will have cooled down by then.
I don't think you'll be seeing
excited.
Finn though. I think John Boyega's pretty much cut ties.
Well, I think if they gave him if they let him be a Jedi, I think he would do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which
Well,
he-
that's what they were hinting at Rise of Skywalker. It's
yeah,
like,
they hinted
Ray,
at
I
it.
never told.
It was also a very odd decision that they just never elaborate on that. Very, very weird.
Yeah, they get down in the caves. He's like, "I'll tell you later." Whatever.
Yeah,
Like,
very, very
no,
weird.
tell me now. We all know now.
That had to have been an editing thing. Like, that's very weird.
Yeah, that was jarring.
And like I didn't even like think about it
Cut to Sandworm.
until I went back to them and like watched it again. I was like, wait, what? What was he gonna tell her? But I mean, I guess it's kind of hinted at, but not.
yeah.
Not
And then
enough.
it was confirmed, I think, by one of the writers or the
Yeah.
the producers or whatever that's what he was going to say. So yeah, that'd be cool if we saw Finn as a Jedi.
Yeah, I think he would come back for that, but I don't think that would be in that movie.
Yeah.
But I could see Poe maybe showing up.
And once again, one of my favorite Wedge is one of my favorite ancillary characters anyway. So like I've always loved Wedge because I love.
Uncle, he's Ewan McGregor's uncle.
He is Dennis Lawson.
Yeah. So Kenobi's gonna be great. They're filming it this month. Who else was announced? Oh, Kumail Nanjiani. No, is that him?
Yeah.
That's exciting.
interesting.
Yeah, there's no telling. I mean, there's no telling who's
Really,
going to be in
though.
it or what the plot. It's probably going to be like some kind of Seven Samurai type deal, is what I'm thinking. But I hope he gets off Tatooine for a little bit. Like,
Yeah.
I don't want him stuck on Tatooine for 4
People
episodes.
think like he wasn't allowed to leave for 20 years. I don't think that's what it meant. I think it's just like he was meant to protect him, but if he had to go for whatever reason, that he would. But also if they could get into like the Force Ghost stuff would be cool. I don't know. They got a lot of potential. I'm so excited to see Hayden again. Probably more than Ewan, just because like I didn't think Hayden was gonna happen
ever again.
Yeah.
Well, so yeah. Whatever capacity he's in the show as, I'm for it.
I hope it's more than a cameo, but like I think they'll show him. I think they're gonna show him helmetless, maybe in his chambers or whatever.
Mhm.
And then like I really think it'd be cool to do.
Maybe on Mustafar.
Yeah. See his
in
castle.
his tank.
Yeah.
In his tank.
Yeah. Which I thought they would like have him in Rogue One when I first saw that. I was kind of disappointed, but it was just like a dummy.
It was dummy. Yeah.
That's bad that they hired a dummy over Hayden. But I mean, to be fair,
A dummy's a lot cheaper.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, it's gonna be really cool. And I think, like I mentioned earlier, having like Obi-Wan have like PTSD and having like not flashbacks, but like visions of what could have been would be really cool.
I like him to be able to. I guess Vader never sensed Obi-Wan, did he? Because he says that in the Death Star. He's like,
also he's looking in Rebels. He's like, perhaps Kenobi. When he's like leading to other Jedi, and this was in Rebels, which is after that. But Star Wars has kind of always been like, we'll fudge it a little bit. Certain point of view,
fast and loose with the canon.
Yeah.
Fine. It's good.
It's
good.
always ever since Return of the Jedi when Obi-Wan said it's a certain point of view.
That's true. Hey,
It's been changed, and I'm okay with that.
I don't mind. But yeah,
if it makes a better story, then go for it.
Kenobi's. I think at universe, it's gonna be like the Mandalorian. I think it's gonna be universally well received in general.
Yeah, I hope.
I hope if they do it well, but it's hard to go wrong. You have Ewan as
Yeah.
Obi-Wan. You can't go wrong with Ewan as Obi-Wan.
Unless they just have a bad story.
Like
but
they can't have worse writing than the prequels, and Ewan saved the prequels even with the bad writing.
Yeah,
Like, his
yeah.
his charisma in the prequels is what makes me go love the prequels.
I'm really excited to see Hayden under new direction as well.
Yeah, it'll be cool.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Because he's a great actor.
Yeah, he's
Life is
in
a House.
Life is a House. Yeah, that's what everybody says. You got to check out this movie, Life is a House. But it's true though. I haven't seen the whole movie.
And
but
Jumper.
And Jumper's fun. I
Jumper
like
is
Jumper.
fun. Got Mace Windu in it too.
I'm gonna scroll through to make sure we didn't miss anything. Oh, also 2D Clone Wars is out on
Sure it is.
Disney Plus.
What y'all's thought on that? I saw one thing on Reddit, how they described it. It's kind of like that is the retelling. Let's say it's like after episode 9, when the people were recounting the Clone Wars.
Oh, it's cool.
That's how they picture the Jedi. Mace Windu literally punching droids. Like,
That's
you know
a
what I mean?
cool
Like,
story.
beating droids
Yeah.
up, like boxing droids and clearing them out. And that's how the old Jedi of the Old Republic were seen in the eyes of people for like not long time ago. Like
Right.
the now time.
Wow.
That's kind of how I picture like the
Yeah.
and spin-offs like with Solo. I kind of just imagine that as like Han's memory or whatever.
Or maybe Han fudging.
Yeah, exactly.
Him being
Yeah.
Han. That'd be a very Han thing to do.
I really was kind of expecting them to, like when Solo came out, to have Harrison Ford at the beginning of it, kind of like young Indy.
That's what I'm hoping for Lando at least.
Yeah, they got to do that.
Yeah.
Which I
Billy
keep
D.
forgetting that's coming out.
Yeah.
What do you guys think that's going to be about? I think I have two options. It's either going to be about Crimson Dawn and like not about that, but like it'll follow those threads from Solo, or it'll take place after Episode 6 with Luke when he went hunting for.
Both of those sound good.
I would be cool with both of those either, because him and Luke went hunting for Ochi
of
Bastoon. So
Oh yeah, that'd be fun.
yeah, so I don't think they're going to do that one. I think it's more likely they're going to do the prequel but I think it'd be really cool. And then get Sebastian Stan and Donald Glover.
Oh, yeah, that'd be great, man. Oh, but Crimson Dawn, they need to have some follow through with that.
Yeah,
because
they
just kind of introduced it. They threw it out there. I was like, oh god, it's Darth Maul.
Yeah.
What is he doing? Okay,
I know.
And I love Emilia Clarke in that role too. I do.
I really hope
she's good. She was good,
and she's free now. No Game of Thrones.
Thank goodness.
So she can come and do that. I never watched Game of Thrones, so well, that's not true. I watched it, but I never got into it, so I have no comment. But I know if any other fandom was divided by a finale more so than Star Wars, it would be Game of Thrones.
Not divided,
or just universally
universally panned. Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember watching. I was like, mouth agape, just like, is this what they're doing?
Yeah.
Like, I cannot believe this is. I saw something that was like, never in our history have I seen the zeitgeist of something like Game of Thrones be eliminated so quickly in people's minds. Like, it was like, as soon as that came out, like everybody forgot about it.
Yeah.
I mean, I haven't heard about Game of Thrones since.
It's true.
Yeah.
And
it was everywhere. It
from
was like
a layman. Yeah.
It was like Dane Cook.
Yeah. Yeah. Dane Cook. Yeah. That guy.
Dane Cook and Carlos Mencia, man.
Yeah. It was, I just can get into it, but yeah, she's available. So I think that'd be a cool follow up, to get, her, they got to do that, somehow. I mean, I know they will. It might just take a long time.
Even if it's animated, I don't. Yeah, whatever.
Yeah, I'm fine with that. I mean, maybe mine.
That's where Darth Maul. That's where Darth Maul shines, anyway.
Yeah, and that way they don't have to worry about Ray Park having any Instagram controversy. Yeah,
poor guy.
You can look that up, but yeah,
it must be hard to be a Star Wars actor.
Hard, yeah.
hard.
Yeah. Yeah, well, we're hinting at something. You can go look it up yourself, but
or don't.
Or don't.
Yeah, maybe don't.
But yeah,
maybe go into incognito mode.
Yeah, I think that'll probably wrap it up for today. We talked about a lot, but
touch on Indy real quick.
Yeah, thank you. Yes. Oh, thank you. I actually did want to talk about that briefly. So yeah, Indiana Jones, John Williams confirmed. He is turning 90 soon, or is 90. I don't know.
Whoa.
So he's going to be doing that, and he needs to get.
How do you write like you're running out of time?
And the
Hamilton.
Yeah, Hamilton. The release date is still next year, which is good. It means they'll probably actually be filming it soon.
I like what you posted about it being 1977.
Oh yeah, somebody posted because if Indy was born in 1899 and Harrison Ford is 78, so that would place the movie in 1977, which would be great. And I think it'd be a fun cameo just to have him walk by in New York or wherever and see on the billboard, see Star Wars,
see a poster.
Yeah,
see a poster of Han Solo.
Yeah, and in the new Star Wars, or that would just be really funny and just be a cool Easter egg.
That guy looks good.
Yeah, yeah, they don't even have to acknowledge it. It could just be an Easter egg, and I think that'd be funny. But it's gonna be very interesting.
Like on the marquee, that would be.
Yeah,
that would be
exactly.
Right.
Yeah, that's what I was.
It's gonna be really interesting to see him in the 70s.
Do we know? Is it going to take place in the 70s?
If it's not the 70s, it's got to be 60s. It can't be any earlier. He can't pull off.
Well, the last one was the 50s, right? So
right,
so that was I think
55, 54, 55, 56 actually.
I wonder who they're going to have as the bad faction this time.
All I know is it started with an Elvis song, and I was like, "Oh, that's so cool."
Which one did?
Crystal Skull.
It did start with
Hound Dog. Yeah,
I've seen Crystal Skull maybe twice.
Yeah, I like that.
I don't mind it. I don't. People aliens. I'm like, well, the first one was just as weird. The Angels of Death melting people's faces. That's
Temple
just
of
as
Doom.
weird as an alien skull. What? It's
and,
Indiana Jones. He's an archaeologist. It's supposed to be wacky.
Holy Grail. Yeah, all of it's supposed to be weird.
Temple of Doom was not great either.
I love Temple of Doom. It's my favorite.
Is it
we
really?
can talk about our Indian.
Okay, yeah, we'll say that for another conversation.
Indy. Yeah, but that's my favorite. Yeah. So yeah, I think it'll be good. John Williams is coming back, and also Phoebe, what's her name, Waller-Bridges.
Yep.
Who was in Solo. She's been cast, and so I think it'll be fun, and hopefully they'll get a move on it because he ain't getting any younger. No. But speaking of that, last thing I want to say, I think it was either a rumor or a theory. I don't know. I think it was a rumor that the story is about the Fountain of Youth, which would be very cool because that would make
yes.
That would fit in with the whole theme of okay, first of all, Harrison Ford's 78, so that could, the fact that could be the topic, the whole plot of the movie about him being old and trying to maybe become younger, but also regret it at the end and say no, I don't want that. But
yeah, that would be,
and that'd be a cool way they could de-age him and
a thematic kind of like
Yeah, I just think it,
closure there. Like
yeah, exactly.
because they're not gonna make another one. This will be the last Indy
No,
film
for sure.
And I love Indy too. So
Yeah.
that would be good. I always love Harrison Ford though. Anything he's in, I'll watch it. You know,
Yeah.
That's one of his 2 characters. You know, Indy and Han. Those
and
are
Blade
his,
Runner,
Yeah,
I guess.
yeah.
I don't know. He's got a million, but yeah, those are the 2 big ones.
Yeah.
So I think that would be a cool like storyline. I think they could do a lot
Right.
with that. That would just like kind of, it would just fit with his age, and I don't know. I think it'd be cool. So I'm gonna be slightly disappointed if it's not that.
Yeah.
But yeah, we talked about a lot today because we took almost a month off. So hopefully we will be back next week, and then but Bad Batch will be out in less than a month. So we're definitely gonna talk about that one. 70-minute long premiere. Longer than any Mandalorian episode. Isn't that weird?
That is weird.
Yeah.
That's so
But
weird.
I love it.
Yeah, I'm excited.
I know they have a lot more to explain though. I feel like
Yeah, I think they.
this is not going to be minimalist. Like Mandalorian is very minimalist in its storytelling.
yeah.
This is going to be all out balls to the wall because you can do like
Yeah.
the Empire, Tarkin, all the clones, remaining Jedi. It's so much more.
Yeah, I think it has to be, and I think that I'm glad it's 70 minutes now because I'm more hyped because they'll have a lot to fill in and kind of like set up the show because we really don't know. I hope it is like the Mandalorian where we didn't really know what was going on until the premiere, and we're like, oh, okay, I can see a direction.
Right.
Especially with Omega, this new character.
I'm sure it's just going to be Clone Wars 2.0, but like,
Yeah.
but for that, I'm fine with. You know.
Hey, I mean, nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, May the 4th is going to be a good day. Get
Yeah,
to watch
so,
watch Bad Batch, and it's my cat's birthday. So.
And it's Chip's cat's birthday.
Meow.
So on that note, I think we're gonna head out, but we'll try to be back next week. If not, we'll try to be back before the Bad Batch so we can have our final theories and stuff. But until then, may the Force be with you.
May the Force be with you. Y'all stay safe.